These days are never easy. It's very human times in a very public way. Had a conversation with the coach this morning. It was short, cordial. He's a gentleman, a true gentleman. Look, there's numerous reasons why you make a decision like that. Ultimately, I felt this was the time. Listen, as I said, there's numerous reasons why you make a decision. There might have been a little bit of loss of intensity on the field yesterday. I would say that's probably evident versus the first 4 games. Listen, I have great respect for the fans, and I do hear the fans. But ultimately, that can't be a reason why you make a change like this. But again, there's numerous reasons why you make a change like this. We have the record we have. And, again, there's different reasons that go into that. I think that there has been progress of some sort. But look, we're just not getting over the hump.
David Tepper yesterday afternoon explaining his decision to fire Matt Rhule. My big takeaway from David Tepper's press conference, really rich people don't like to have to answer questions from anyone, especially people who aren't really rich like them. And that one thing he said about the fans, listening to the fans, that can't be a reason. There are many reasons, but listening to the fans. Are you kidding me? They're your customers. They're the ones who are putting their asses in the seats. He talked about that, how many of the asses in the seats had red on, not blue. The stadium was overrun by 49ers fans. Your fans are your financial lifeblood. You want them to be happy. You want them to be engaged. Now, I'm not saying you let them set the agenda, but don't act like it's not a factor at all. There are many factors, but we don't care what the peasants think. That was the attitude that I got from the guy.
No, I don't know why. I didn't feel like that. He didn't say that. He just said, "Hey, listen."
He did.
He said
he
we're
said
sensitive to the
what
fans.
The fans think
well,
can't
you
be
know
a
what he
factor.
meant. He
It
can't let them run the team. I mean, if you listen to the fans, everybody that Bill Belichick would have been fired the week after he won a Super Bowl because he made it. I mean, fans are overreactive. They're it's constant. So
it has to
that's
be
all
a
he was
factor.
trying to
it
say.
can't not be a factor. He said it's not
It is
a
factor.
It has to be
He
a factor.
fired the freaking guy in week 5. He listened, Mike. Don't get mad at him for that.
I'm not listening to the peons that pay for
He just saying he's not going to let them run the show. That's all he was trying to say there.
You heard it differently than I did.
I did. You're getting way too literal.
I heard what he actually said. You need to watch the whole press conference. He's got a little attitude. There's a little attitude. Hey, look, sorry that I'm not ready to defend the billionaire. Who will ever defend the billionaire? I think he was there was an attitude that came through that was not helpful. And somebody said, well, at least he talks, unlike Dan Snyder. Well, you know what? If you're going to talk and it's going to make it worse, it's better to not talk. And we do criticize the owners who run and hide in moments like this, so it's good that he made himself available, but we still reserve the right to criticize and analyze and scrutinize what he said. But the bottom line is Matt Rhule's out. And I felt this coming. I felt it coming. And there was a business reason to do it that he's not going to talk about, Chris. The business reason is this. If I fire this guy now, if I already know he's going to be gone, if I fire him now, I put him in play for multiple college jobs. And maybe he will leverage that situation into getting himself a massive contract that reduces what I owe him.
Sure, right.
That is a factor. It's probably unseemly for him to talk about it himself. He'll let us talk about it on his behalf. But that's why you do it now. Because now all those other colleges where he's very well suited to being successful, so successful in college that an NFL owner actually thought he could be successful in the NFL. He'll go back to the college level. He'll turn somebody around. He'll be great. And you put him out there now, and maybe you save most, if not all, of whatever you owe him over the next 5 years.
I would think that's a huge part of it. I mean, I think, the fact that, I don't disagree, that I feel like there's a little belief that's gone from the football team, and they're kind of like a beaten down puppy that way. And, hey, you get started you can do your due diligence and take your time on candidates here that you might want to coach your team in the future. I think there's a lot of positives about doing that. But I think your point there is like the most real one. Yeah, Matt Rhule, from everything I know, if Jim Harbaugh took the Vikings job last year, Matt Rhule was going to be one of the number one candidates to be the head coach of Michigan. So if he wants to jump into this college football thing again, like you're talking about, yeah, he's going to be able to. He's been extremely successful, extremely. And I would think that takes a big chunk of that $9 million a year per salary away right off the bat. Maybe at all.
Look at what they're paying the college coaches
You're
now.
right.
Look at what they're paying them, $10, $15 million a year.
Yeah, so I get that. But I understand them firing him too. I do think we've gotten to a point there where, we've seen enough. I got respect for Matt Rhule, but it doesn't seem like they ever got over the hump or turned the corner or whatever you want to say there. And the biggest reason being just the way their offense is played. That's really where he dropped the ball more than anything. The lack of the ability to find an offensive mind or an offensive coordinator that could be creative on that side of the football, and the lack of, being able to find a quarterback that also the fan base can latch on to. And, I think between those things right there and just a bad win-loss record, that's why he's out the door now.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.